Hello everybody and welcome to my first week of Inktober 2018. I am participating in Inktober for the very first time and it's a bit scary because I am not used to draw with ink. I usually color my pieces in with colored pencils or whatever, but now I only have ink to guide me, so that is kind of new territory for me. For this first day, I lost my footage of the sketches and I'm not really sure what happened to it, so I'm going straight into the inking part, and I'm actually following the prompts of Jake Parker. And the first prompt was poisonous, so I drew a poisonous apple. The second prompt was tranquil, and I found this a very hard prompt. It is really abstract and I didn't really know what to draw. Also because I want all my drawings to be Kawaii themed as well. Just to give myself a little bit of a direction to draw in. But tranquil didn't really inspire me. But what I did think of was a little dandelion and all these fuzzy thingies blowing in the wind. And I thought only drawing the flower was a bit boring, so I decided to draw a little ladybug playing with one of the fuzzy flower thingies. I don't know what you what you call them, but yeah, the idea was kind of cute, but somehow I don't think this was really my style. I tried to draw in a very different style as what I usually do, and I don't think the ladybug is really kawaii. It's just a cute ladybug, I suppose. But I was not really too happy with the shape. I did some sketches before and I really liked my sketches, so maybe that's it. I just like my sketches more than my actual drawing. But you know, that's fine. I was trying out new stuff. I also tried out drawing a background because I thought it was a little bit too empty, I suppose. So I wanted to draw a sunset, and that was a little bit out of my league, I suppose, because as I mentioned, I usually do not draw with only ink and only black, and I didn't really have colored ink at this point, so yeah, the sunset didn't really work out for me the way I wanted to, and I didn't really know how to do it, basically. But you know, it's fine. This is all about experimenting and about getting better. It's not necessarily about making the best drawings of your life, so I'm okay with that. Yeah, so that is my drawing for day 2. I did try to make my drawings a little bit more 3D by adding some cross-hatching, and I think the more I did that, the more I progressed, the better I got at it. And I still think it's pretty hard. I'm not really sure how to shade my drawings properly, or I know where the shadings should be technically, but I just don't really know how to make it a little bit higher in contrast, I suppose. But I think I am getting a little bit better each day. Anyway, on to day 3. And the theme for day 3 was roasted. And I just thought of marshmallows immediately, and about, you know, roasting your marshmallows, God, near the campfire and having a nice time. So I decided to draw a little campfire and to draw 2 marshmallows near the campfire getting roasted. And because I didn't really want to draw people in this drawing, I just decided to give the marshmallows little happy faces because they are so happy about getting roasted. They are not aware of the fact that they might get eaten very soon, I think. I really like how this drawing turned out. I really love the shape of the marshmallows, and I think they look really fluffy, and I like their happy faces, and I also really like the fire. So I'm pretty happy with this. I think this was my favorite of the first 3 days, I suppose. I am coloring the eyes with my Micron, the thickest Micron, but it's still very thin for coloring in. So later I actually did the drawing with brush pens, which is way easier. And here I am shading them a little bit, and I'm actually giving the marshmallows little roasted cheeks, and I think that looks adorable actually. Then I gave the logs a little bit of structure, and I was also shading them, but I didn't really know how to shade the fire or how to make the fire more 3D. I know that the fire technically has a darker and a lighter color, but I only had black and gray, and it didn't really I didn't really know how to do that. So the fire is just white. And then the next day I had to draw spell, and I wasn't really sure how to draw that. I mean, a spell is something that moves, right? Something magical, and it's not really a thing. So I was a little bit confused how to draw it, and I thought about a wand that was doing a spell. But that would be a little bit boring just to draw a wand, I suppose, with stuff coming out of it, or I don't know. So for some reason I thought of a bunny, and later someone mentioned to me that maybe I thought of a bunny because a bunny is also related to magic, right? They sometimes come out of hats and stuff, so maybe that's it. I don't know. But I just felt like drawing a cute bunny, so I did, and I incorporated the prompt within the bunny by letting the bunny hold a wand and being all surprised that this little wooden stick is actually performing a spell. So I think this bunny just picked a random stick in the woods and wasn't really thinking about the effects that this might have. And this is actually one of my favorite drawings of that week. I absolutely love the expression on the bunny's face, and I was actually drawing some more bunnies in my other sketchbook in different positions, and I really like this character, so maybe I will draw it again for another prompt in Inktober. I'm not really sure, but I'm definitely going to draw more bunnies in the near future because I really liked this little character. I'm giving the bunny a little bit of shading as well, and I'm not sure if I did it properly everywhere, but that's fine. The stick looks a bit weird, or the wand I should say. It looks a bit weird. It looks a bit like sticking out of her hand, but you know, that's the thing with ink. Once you realize that, it's too late, you know? I didn't want the bunny to float on the page, so this was the first time I actually drew a shade underneath the drawing. And I still didn't think that it was quite finished, so I added some more shading and I added some gray to the ears, and I think this is the first time that I added gray, and the little belly button really finishes it, I think. So this is day 5, and the prompt for day 5 was chicken. I didn't want to draw just a chicken, like I didn't want to draw just a spell. I didn't want to draw just a chicken, so I wanted to create a little story around it. So I created this chicken who is taking flight, basically. This is Mother Chicken, and she has little baby chicks, and the chicks are getting their first flying lesson, I suppose. Or seeing their mother fly for the first time and thinking like, hey, this is something I want too. You know, they can't because their wings are too small and they cannot really walk well. So this is one of the little chicks, and she's just sitting on the floor looking in awe to her mother flying off. And the other chick is a little bit more proactive and actually tries to fly by running around and flapping its little tiny wings. And obviously she doesn't succeed either, but you know, she's trying. And one day she will succeed, you know. This might be my favorite drawing, or I keep saying that though. But this is also a drawing that I really like. I just really like the simple shapes of the chicken and the little chicks, and I like how they are looking at mommy, and I just like the little story behind it. Then I also started to color the things that are supposed to be red with chickens, and also their paws to give it a little bit more contrast. And I actually made a mistake because I also colored the wings, whereas the wings are supposed to be white like the chicken. But I actually like how that turned out. So it was a happy accident, and I think that's that's what mistakes are in general, right? They are happy accidents. You just have to go with it and accept them, I think. And I am actually quite happy with the shading in general. See, here I am drawing the wings. I am actually quite happy with the shading in general. I think these chicks and the chicken look pretty 3D, and the shading is also not too dark, which is good because chickens are white. So I think I succeeded in this one. And then we have the prompt drooling, and that was a really difficult one. I didn't know if I wanted to have just a kawaii character that was drooling. I actually wanted to draw a donut at first because donuts make people drool, right? Everybody likes them. But then I started to practice drooling faces because I usually don't draw them, so I practiced them first, and I practiced them on regular faces as well, and I thought, hey, that looks pretty cute as well, actually. So I decided to draw a kawaii girl that is drooling, and I wasn't really too happy with the shape of her face, I suppose, but I really liked her hair and I liked her eyes. It looks like she she has a major hangover, which I kind of like. And I drew the donut anyway, but it was just laughing at her, basically. But then I started to color in her hair, and I had absolutely no idea how to do that. I kind of know where the shading should be, but then I got this this marker, which is so much darker than the other one, and it looks absolutely horrible, I think. But I didn't really know how to fix it, so I just went with it and I continued drawing with it. And then I just moved on, and I decided that I would actually start drawing my first idea. So this is still day 6, this is still drooling, and this is the donut that I actually wanted to make because I was so unhappy with the girl that I just drew. So here's the little donut, and I think it looks way cuter than the girl, but it's also good that I practiced drawing faces, right? Because that's not something I usually do. So I should forgive myself for that, I suppose. But I like the donut. I don't know if it actually looks like the donut is drooling or that it's more puking. Mostly I think it's the latter. It looks a bit more like puking to me, but hey, it looks cute either way. I also colored in the icing of the donut to give it a little bit more contrast. And I should have waited for the light color to be dry, actually. But I was impatient, so now it bleeded a little bit, I suppose. But overall, I'm happy with this one. And moving on to day 7, the last day of this week. And the prompt for day 7 was exhausted. And even though I failed miserably at drawing a face on day 6, I decided I wanted to give it another try. So I drew another kawaii girl on day 7. I mean, I have to learn, right? I want to learn how to draw people. So I drew a completely different hairstyle here. And I really like actually how this hairstyle looks. It is, I don't know, it looks really cute, I think. And I really love her eyes. She is also one of my favorites of this week. Maybe my absolute favorite, although the chickens come really close as well. So I think they both end up on the first place. I made her arms way too short here, but I'm fixing that later, don't worry. She looks a bit weird on this one. And I gave her a cute little dress, and I just really like her whole posture and her expression. I really struggled with her legs because it's kawaii, you know. I wanted to give the legs shape like you would in a normal drawing, but on the other hand, it's also kawaii and it should be super simple. So I think I ended up with good looking legs for a kawaii thingy. I made them a little bit shorter when I inked them actually. And the arms are a bit longer, as you can see here, so that's good. I think I even made the face a little bit, yeah, see, I made the face a little bit shorter. Is that the right way to say it? So the arms are even a little bit longer, and I think the proportions are better that way, although she has quite short legs actually. It's fine. So for her hair, I decided to try something differently than I did the day before. I wanted to draw her, or rather color her hair in the light color, and then wait until it dried a little bit. And then I would go over it with the same color again, so that it gets a little bit darker, but not as dark as the day before. And I actually drew some polka dots on her dress because I wanted to add some more contrast, but not too much, and I think the polka dots really help with that. And also I gave her little leggings, and in the end, because of that, I actually have the feeling that I drew myself, kind of, because I have a dress with polka dots and I always wear leggings, and I'm always exhausted as well because I'm chronically fatigued. So this drawing really represents how I feel a lot of times. And I actually think that the hair in this one really worked out. So that was it, guys. That is the first 7 drawings of my first week of Inktober. If you liked this, then subscribe to my channel and make sure that you don't miss the next week, which will be coming sooner. I promise you, because this one got a little bit too late. And I will see you in the next one. Have an amazing creative day, guys. See you there.